In my case, it's the life I had with my mother that has bothered me. And it still does to an extent. To this day. You know
we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day.
Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is for women and men over 30 who wants to achieve success in their fitness journey. And I'm going to help you do just that. But first, I got to ask you, can you remember the first time you began to pay attention to the serving sizes you're supposed to have according to the nutritional label? I can, and my reaction was, is this all I'm supposed to have? Yes, this is it. This is all you get. In today's podcast, I'll share with you what helps me stay disciplined when I want more, how much weight I've lost on my juice fast, and the new goals I set for myself. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Are you looking for a personal trainer that will focus on you to help achieve success in your fitness journey? If yes, please book your in-person or Zoom one-on-one personal training sessions with me, Christian Evans, at christiansweightsuccess.net.
Welcome back to the Success Fitness Podcast. I appreciate you listening to the ad that you heard before. You could have been anywhere else in the world where you probably are because you're just listening to the podcast. But I appreciate you. It is Men's Health Month in June. So shout out to the fellas. And I'm only 2 pounds away. I'm 2 pounds away from being under 300 pounds. It's been some years since I've been in the 200s. Today is Thursday, June 8th, 2023, which is day 87 of my juice fast. I'm going to tell you how much weight I've lost since the last podcast and how much I've lost so far, my food intake, workouts, and some new goals I set for myself. I'm really excited about that because when you're just winging it, it's not good. I found out that I need a date. I need dates to keep on track. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to share that with you, but you got to stick to the end of the podcast. Jumping right into it. Have you ever asked yourself, is this all I'm supposed to have? I have, and the answer is yes. I didn't like it, but it's the reality of what's needed to progress. As stated earlier, June is Men's Health Month, and I'm understanding it is okay to talk about what's bothering you or what has bothered you. In my case, it's the life I had with my mother that has bothered me, and it still does to an extent. To this day. You know what? I've been jonesing for pizza lately, but I'm trying to get better at eating better, not eating out so much, and subscribing to the we got food at home mentality. So I chose to cook what I bought from Sam's. Salmon prices have been so high, but Sam's had it $5 off today. Last week, I found a bag of quinoa there for about $8. Since my vegetable supply of meal prep was running low, I also picked up some fresh broccoli. By the time I realized it, I had cooked everything in my e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep for Beginners. Not only will you get 3 recipes for one high-protein meal under 600 calories, you'll also get a free workout ebook. Get 10% off when you sign up to my weekly newsletter. The link will be in the description and the link tree in my bio. Download your copy today. I'm a mama's boy, and I've always owned up to that. My mother loved me, and this I know. I always wanted to make her smile, even with the skills of cooking that she taught me. It's summer 2006. It's a nice day to grill, and as I'm looking up at the sky, there's no clouds in sight. It's a sunny breeze, and the sun is hitting my skin. It's kind of making it burn, or is it this grill? I'm outside grilling some brats for my mom because that's something that she loves. I was so antsy to try this grill out since we had just purchased this house last spring. And when I say we, her and I purchased the house. I'm about 23 at the time, and majority of my time was spent at Papa Murphy's working 12 to 14 hours a day as the general manager. So the time I did get to spend with my mom, I cherished. It never seemed like it was enough, though. It's September 26, 2008. I'm at home in the same house, in the basement, in my bed with my brother, crying myself to sleep. He is too. I'm furious, confused, totally disconnected from life. 2 hours earlier, we're at Methodist Hospital in the ICU where we just had to pull her off life support. I'm furious, confused, totally disconnected from life. And I asked God, this is it? It's mid-September 2019, and I'm trying this keto diet for the first time. I'm not used to portion control. I'm not used to calorie counting. But if you want to succeed in keto, you have to track your intake. This is something I was new to because when I lost weight in 2014, I never had to. I refused. And I was on my juice fast, and I was losing up to about 2 pounds a day. So I didn't have to pay attention to calorie counting and everything that other people who were on their weight loss journey had to. So in one way or another, I kind of felt above everybody during that time. So now that I'm tracking my calories, I have no other choice but to check the calorie count and portion sizes via the nutritional labels. When I saw what the proper serving size was for something I normally eat, let's say like cereal, I'm pouring a huge mixing bowl of cereal, right? That was my portion size. Or ice cream, say like eating a quart of ice cream, or cheesecake. I remember going to Hy-Vee and they had a cheesecake, not Hy-Vee. You know what? It was Sam's. And I blame my aunt. I blame my aunt Monica for this because I wasn't a big cheesecake fan, but I went over her house one time and she had some cheesecake and I asked her where she got it from. She said Sam's. She said Sam's. And that was about the first cheesecake I liked. And I remember going to Sam's and probably eating about half of it to myself, So now that I'm tracking these calories, now that I'm looking at nutritional labels, because I'm on the keto diet, I have to look for calories, I have to look for fats, I have to look for proteins and carbs, and I have to see, okay, how many calories, what's the serving size on the calories? And when I saw what the proper serving size was for those, my first response is, this is all I'm supposed to have? This is it? You're used to eating a half a cheesecake or a half a bowl of, half a box of cereal. Would you start to see the recommended portion? Say like cereal, it's like 3/4 of a cup, and that's dry. And that's 3/4 of a cup. Sometimes it kind of depends on what it is. And it has X amount of calories, X amount of, proteins, fats, carbs, and things I'm tracking. And it's like, what? That's it? It's like, yep. I didn't. And at times I still don't like the answer. I'm just like I just said, like the answer is yes. This is it. This is it. That's the answer God revealed to me in my state of fury, hurt, and distortion. We're up at the hospital. We're in the ICU. And everything's in a disarray. We're all in a circle holding hands. We just finished praying, for her transition. I can remember my niece, she'd be 18. Goodness gracious. Where does time go? She'll be 18. She'll be 18 next month. And at the time, she had to have been at least 2 or 3. And my mom's all wired up. And she kind of broke the ice or the tension in the room, my niece. And she kind of made us all laugh. My mother loved my niece. She didn't get a chance to meet my other niece and my nephew. But the oldest, that was her baby. She pretty much kicked me aside. Now, technically, I'm the youngest. And so, when my brother had his first daughter, she just took her under her wing and just had her. That was her baby. And, of course, she called her Nana. And my niece was kind of like on the brink of, well, not on the brink, during the time when, say, camera phones first started coming out, and, we had phones that she would love to play with them and everything like that. And she kind of had a general understanding of plugs, wires and things like that, and what their purpose was, right? To charge. So my mother's, laying on her back, eyes closed. And I believe it was either right before we pulled the plug or, a little bit right after. The family's there and we're all praying. And my niece said something. She said, Nana's charging up. And it was so funny because in the moment of sadness, there was still joy. There was still joy in her. That's just what she saw. She saw her wired up. And she had to, she came to the conclusion that Nana was charging up. Nana was charging up. And so, that gave me a little laugh or a little chuckle. But, to this day, I still didn't like the answer that God revealed to me. The answer is yes. This is it. And the it I was referring to was time. This is all the time I get with her. This is it. I'm like 25 at the time. I'm like, this is it. And so while everybody else gets, 30 years or, 70 years, with their parents, and their parents can live up to, 100, 110 or, 80 or something, that would have probably made me about, 50 something, if my mother would have, lived. But I'm like, this is all I get? How is this right? How is this fair? What sense does it make? And in that moment, I'm trying not to be angry at God, angry towards God, and still being careful about with my words, because I don't ever feel like I could have been loose in regards to how I thought, And what I mean by that is, I have my faith and my belief, and, you understand, you have to come to an understanding when it comes to death and somebody passing, is that she was his before she was mine, and understanding the order. But even still, like during that time, I just really wasn't trying to just hear it or anything like that. But I had to have an answer too at the same time, and distorted. It was like, I don't want to hear something, but I need to hear something. I don't want anybody talking to me, but I need somebody to talk to me to make it make sense, because it wasn't mathing. It wasn't computing to me. And it's like, this is it. This is it. This is it. And like, this is all the time I get. This is her life. What am I supposed to do from here on out? What is this? Again, this is it. And the answer was yes. That's all the time that you get. That's it. This is all you need, whether you know it or not. You will have to be to survive. You will have to be to succeed. You will have to be to live. Knowing when to say when will save your life. It's Thursday, June 8th, 2023, and I'm recording this podcast while my neighbor has what sounds like a chainsaw motor, and I assume they're doing some lawn work. Hopefully, it's not Leatherface over there. Weighing in this morning, I began to think about my mom. Her birthday is at the end of this month, June 29th. The reason why I'm looking at this scale is because as of March 14th, 2023, I told myself, this is it. I began this new weight loss journey that I'm currently on. I am happy with the results, which I will tell you how much weight I've lost at the end of the podcast. So stay tuned. But I told myself, this is it. And yes, I am happy with the results that I have so far. So what keeps me disciplined? What helps me stay disciplined is an additional question. What keeps me going is setting a goal and sticking to it. That's what keeps me disciplined, my goal. You have to set yourself a goal. I personally found out I have to set myself a date. I need a date. So what keeps me going is goal setting and sticking to it. Last week I talked about not lying to yourself, honoring your word to yourself. You got to start honoring yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop starting stuff and never finishing it. That was one of the lessons my mother taught me before she left that I try to stick to, and sometimes I fall short. She says, don't start something you can't finish. Finish what you start. So finish what you start. So if you told yourself what your goal was in regards to losing weight, honor that. Honor yourself, respect yourself. Respect yourself, check yourself. Word to Ice Cube. Check yourself. And honor your word. You know, you got to start building some type of truth into your life. And it starts with you. Expecting someone else to be truthful with you. I think that's a separate issue all in itself, but you know, you're reaping what you sow, and I believe reaping honor into yourself, or sowing honor, sowing truth, sowing love into yourself, you'll be able to reap that harvest just as well, right? So honor your word to yourself. You know, how that looks in real time is keeping your goal in mind and disciplining yourself when eating to tell yourself, this is it. If you're tracking your food and your weight daily, like me, then you know how important it is to stay in line. So again, what keeps me disciplined, what helps me stay disciplined, and what should help you to stay disciplined through all of this, throughout your fitness journey, and just throughout life. One thing that I'm understanding is having a goal. I do not do well if I do not have goals. I do not do well if I do not have goals that are written down, because I have to see it. That's just how I work. And you have to figure out what it is that helps you stay on track, right? Helps you stay disciplined, because I see that a lot in regards to fitness journeys and people asking questions on their fitness journey. And I guess I'm understanding is that everybody's at a different space, in a different place in their fitness journey. And my frustration can come from my assumption that we're all grown. You should know better by now, you know, but somebody could say that to me when they looked at me prior to March 14th, 2023. I was just totally out of shape. Not really happy what was going on. I was at the doctors for all the wrong reasons, now that I'm looking back at it. But after I stepped off that scale, after seeing that number, I said, this is it. All right, you know what you got to do. Stop playing around and just buckle down. And as of June 1st, let's go ahead and say June 1st. As of June 1st, not of June 8th, because June 8th is different from June 1st. I have a different weight. I weigh something totally different than last week. As of June 1st, I am down at least 50 pounds. At least 50 pounds. So what helps me to stay disciplined, to lose 50 pounds or over 50 pounds or at least 50 pounds, all right? Building up the suspense. Setting your goal. If you are having some issues about goal setting, go back to my last podcast when I say use Google. You can use Google and say, how do I start setting goals? What is a good community to help me stay on track of my goals? If you're somebody who needs an accountability partner or whatnot, then I'm sure there's plenty of professional resources out there. But if you want casual resources, you can join my Facebook community, Success Fitness Family, where you can find accountability partners, that people who are on their fitness journey that share their ups and downs and what can help them or what has helped them continue and stay disciplined on their fitness journey. If you found inspiration in today's podcast and would like to support, then sign up to my weekly newsletter, the Success Fitness Newsletter. You'll get access to my new ebook, How Many Calories Should I Eat? It's a guide with resources to find your daily caloric intake to ensure success in reaching your fitness goals. You'll also get access to my private Facebook community, Success Fitness Family. And weekly emails when this podcast publishes every Sunday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link to sign up to the Success Fitness newsletter will be in the description. Thank you for listening to the Success Fitness podcast. And remember this, if it's not making you stronger, chant more weight, more weight, more weight. Peace out. I'm only 2 pounds away. Today is Thursday, June 8th, 2023. It is day 87 of my juice fast, and I am down a total of 57 pounds. I am at 301 today. I lost 2 pounds from yesterday to today. So yesterday I was at 303. Today I'm at 301. And I'm 2 pounds away from officially being under 300 pounds and being in the 200s. Being in the 200s, that's saying a lot far as for me. I am usually reserved and I don't get excited about too many things other than Lou Malnati's pizza, Trafsker's cake, and new workout equipment. But this one is up there. It's an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment, but I want more. I want more. I want more. And so today at 6 a.m., since I've been documenting down, I've been tracking, I still track. At 6 a.m., I'm going to read you off what I've had so far, my intake. If you're not used to tracking what you've been eating, then start. Use your notepad and just write down whatever it is that you eat. And then maybe by day 3, you can start tracking the actual calories. But to actually track down what you eat hour by hour, it is a task. It is a task. But once you start doing it, you get so used to it, you almost feel guilty that you don't if you miss a day. True enough, I've missed some days. But I had some coffee this morning. With some creamer, some regular creamer. I posted a picture on my Facebook page about some coffee creamers that I saw at Hy-Vee, and it was like 3 or 4 of them. I took a picture. I want you to guess which coffee creamer I purchased. But after I got my coffee in, I rode my bike for 30 minutes. So I like to do cardio right after coffee and cardio. I need to make some shirts with that. Let me know if that's something that you will want or you will buy. But coffee and cardio. And then I had some morning clients starting at, let's say like 7:30. I was supposed to weigh right after. That's what I normally do. I work out and then I weigh. But my workout, my morning cardio, get my morning cardio out. But my scale, it was lopsided. And I'm not saying that as regards to, hey, I wanted the numbers to say something or I'm blaming the scale to say something. No, what it was at the bottom of the scale, there's what you would call like little 4 corners and, well, not 4 corners, but 4 like pads, put it like that, because that's what they are. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because I know this is long. But I didn't know if I was supposed to pause that or not. Let's wrap this up because this is long. Yeah, we're going to pause that. Pause. But anyway, there were like these little rubber, I guess, grippers, because, you know, some people may weigh on a linoleum floor or whatever. But since I weigh on a flat carpet, I didn't want it to be imbalanced. And it kept giving me these weird readings. And, you know, it'll say like 298. And it just like hold it. And then once the weight, you know, got settled, it'd be up like 6 pounds. So there was inconsistent. So I had to wait until my 7:30 client was done to weigh in. And mind you, when I got through working out, I didn't drink anything because I wanted to just be the lightest for that weigh-in. I'm very particular about my weigh-ins. And again, so I weighed in at 301. And so again, 2 pounds away from being in the 200s, and I'm officially down 57 pounds. And at 9 a.m., I had a juice that was 32 ounces. I juiced maybe like 2 days ago, and my juicer broke too. I got to tell you about that one later. Anyway, cantaloupe, pineapple, carrots, and celery. And then that was a pretty good combo. I like that one. At 10 a.m., I did 20 minutes on the stair climber, went to gold, 20 minutes on the stair climber. And then I did about a 27-minute hit circuit for core. I really like that one. I'm going to keep that one. Then at 12:30, I had apples, oranges, carrots, and broccoli in regards to as far as my second juice recipe. And then I had a peanut butter cup. Yes, peanut butter. You know I love peanut butter. But the singles, I noticed that I have to get the singles. I'm not that disciplined to get a jar, because as long as I have a spoon and as long as I have a jar and a jar full of peanut butter, it only takes maybe about a day or two for that spoon in my hand going back and forth into that jar with that peanut butter to be gone. So discipline. Remember, this is it. So that's all I've had so far. And right now it is 2:40. It is 2:40 p.m. in the afternoon. And I feel great. I thank you for listening to the Success Fitness Podcast. I'm not going to end it right now because I told you about my new goal. So my new goal is, I want to say I've lost 100 pounds twice. But first, I need to get to 270. I need to get to 270. And 270 is not a long shot from where I am right now. And when I set that goal was earlier this month or this week, because it's the 8th. And when I don't write on my vision board that's right in front of me right now as I'm looking, I don't do well in the month. I need to write down my goals. I need to have dates. So it's one thing to have a goal, but putting a date on it. So my next goal is to get to 270 by the 4th of July. Can I do it? Can I?